Hi, everyone. Really glad that you decided to join today. Thank you for taking time to dial in. I know this time of the year it is rather hectic, so I really do appreciate you taking time to join. Last week, we spoke about survival tips for the silly season. We broke it down into 3 sections: admin, fun, and emotional software upgrade. One of the fun things I briefly mentioned was to arrange a team building event and to brainstorm with your team for the coming year. Today, I want to share with you ideas and practical concepts on how to effectively brainstorm and team build. In essence, brainstorming is not the same as team building. However, you can use brainstorming in a team building event, and you can initiate a brainstorming session by starting off with a team building activity. But it is when you combine the 2 activities in its totality that you have created a really excellent platform for really great results. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of the times as an organization or a business, we miss out on the potential of our employees and teams because we don't explore it. Getting the team involved and interactive in either of the 2 concepts, we learn from them and they learn from us and from each other. So let's get started, and let's first look at the importance of an effective brainstorming session. Brainstorming was invented in 1938 by Alex F. Osborne and also introduced and explained to the world by him in 1953 through his book, Applied Imagination: Principles and Procedures of Creative Thinking. It is in essence a method or technique that invites individuals to spontaneously contribute creative and innovative ideas or solutions to solving a problem. Now, I might as well stop talking now because that just sums it up. Brainstorming helps teams to think creatively and innovatively and guides them into spontaneous contribution of their thoughts. You know, this gets me thinking. I remember many years ago, I had my family over for coffee. Unplanned, I might add. I say family, I mean my extended family. There were a lot of us. No one had any money for nothing, and definitely not for drinks. So we were left with only coffee. We had coffee like it was coming from a soda fountain. Now you can only imagine, with all the caffeine, everyone was wide awake and no one felt like going home. So we ended up brainstorming deep into the night and early morning hours about money-making ideas and patents that would make us a lot of money so we can buy anything and everything. Turns out there's a heck of a lot to patent. Unfortunately, no one acted on any of our clever ideas. I suppose there were way too many ideas, so we ended up doing none of it. And how sad is that? And that is the sad truth for many teams. They get very creative and find a lot of solutions for problems together as a team, brainstorming the heck out of it, but nothing gets put to action. You see, these creative ways of getting really great ideas on the table means absolutely nothing if you don't connect an action plan to it. So even before we discuss all these brilliant ideas of how to brainstorm or how to effectively build the team, I'm going to start at the back of this topic. I want you to keep in mind that at the end of any brainstorming session and any team building day, your people need to take something back with them, and you need to have the next step, the action plan, in place. I'll make it really simple. 3 steps. You can write them down if you wish. The first step is to ask the team. So, team, we know now what we need to do. Who's with me on getting it done? Hopefully, everyone is on board. Hopefully. Then you ask each of them what they want to commit to doing. What is their part they will play in getting it done? And then negotiate and confirm a deadline as to when it will be done. Make sure that each step of the process or action is spoken for. Whoever is not coming forward with a commitment, you need to ask them if they will take on a job or step in, or maybe a step in the process that no one has committed to. Everyone must participate. Then set up weekly team meetings. Stick to it like glue and keep the team accountable for their part of the process. Make sure they understand that it is a team effort. There's a really excellent process that can help you with this. And it's called the 4 disciplines of execution, or 4DX. I've spoken about this in one of our previous presentations, so I'm not going to elaborate on it again today. Our discussion today is on effective brainstorming and team building. So then, let's talk about ways to make the brainstorming effective. If you need to think now of what the word effective means to you, what would that be? Maybe write down a word or a phrase that you would consider is the meaning of effectiveness. Now, the Oxford Dictionary says it is a degree to which something is successful in producing a desired result. In other words, success. So in essence, effective brainstorming should then be a group of people being creative and innovative in finding solutions to problems that can be implemented and used successfully for actually solving the issue that is being discussed. The internet is loaded with really stunning ideas of how to host an effective brainstorming session with your team. At the end, all the nice ideas are only nice ideas until you put it to action. Now, I'd like to highlight a few ideas from lucidspark.com, and I think it is a great idea to approach this like you would approach a game. Any game, really. There are always rules. The rules of this brainstorming game is: don't criticize any ideas. Encourage a wide variety of ideas. Build on each other's ideas, and don't be afraid to share unrealistic or unconventional ideas. Simple, yet very important. The idea is to ensure a judgment-free space where everyone can take part in the conversation and not feel left out or belittled or judged. It should be an opportunity for everyone, including the quiet introvert, to really think outside the box. It is also important to note that the discussion should not be based on just one idea from one person. This is called the anchoring effect. The team stops brainstorming halfway through the session because they are now focused on the first great idea that came along. And so to keep the anchoring effect at bay, you can try these brainstorming techniques. First one is mind mapping. Now, by the way, if you have kids at school, this is a great way for them to study as well. Mind mapping offers an opportunity for each individual idea to be explored and at the same time connects it to an initial thought or concept. The best feature of a mind map is that you can get the whole picture just by looking at it. It gives you the bigger picture. Next up is brainwriting. This method helps to include the quieter thinker, the one who won't necessarily interact in the conversation. This method is also constructive and systematic, and it can be done very easily in a lekker, playful manner. And this is how it works. Everyone writes down their idea on a piece of paper. You'd like to set a timer for it. so that it don't, spill out of control, that it takes too long. Pass each piece of paper on to the person next to you, or everyone give their piece of paper back to the presenter. The presenter sets it out on the table, and each person comes and picks up another idea that was written by someone else. That person then expands on the idea. Keep passing the paper on until each person has elaborated on the ideas on each piece of paper. When all is done, share all the ideas and discuss. It is done this way so that the papers stay anonymous, which will eliminate any judgment or embarrassment. This is also a way to take away anxiety around sharing your idea with everyone, so people will be more willing to get creative. Third option is the rapid ideation. Everyone is invited to write down on a piece of paper all and any idea that they can come up with, but in a timed manner, yet again. So they have little time and must think and write fast. When the buzzer goes off, all the ideas are collected and then shared with the team. The goal of this exercise is to let the thoughts flow freely and fast. No time to judge your own thoughts or ideas. This method can spark creativity, and you will get a lot of material to work with. This is also a method to include every person on the team. Starbursting is the last technique that I'm sharing today. This method helps the team to explore ideas by asking these specific questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. The idea is to draw a star and write down in the center a name for the issue at hand. Then start answering the 6 questions. It will typically be something like what do our clients want? When will the product be ready for delivery? What timeline do we need to make this happen? And so forth. This way you can ask the deeper questions and spark ideas to create a basic roadmap for the solution to the problem. Now, as a presenter or facilitator of this brainstorming session, you might want to time yourself to make sure you get everything done in a reasonable time. Use sticky notes, which makes it a lot easier to add or remove ideas and concepts as the discussion continues. Try handwriting on the whiteboard or flip chart or even on paper. Writing by hand actually spurs the creative part of your brain much better than typing. And collaborate. Get people to work together on ideas and creative solutions. Effective brainstorming sessions can be lots of fun without feeling that you have worked. It definitely should not feel like a classroom session. And the best way of making it fun and enjoyable is to combine it with team building. Now, very briefly, I want us to look at team building. I'm thinking about that starbursting is a really good technique that you can use to combine brainstorming and team building. But that's not necessarily the game or the activity that you'd like to start off with. Okay, so let's quickly look at what is team building. The Oxford Dictionary describes it as the action or process of causing a group of people to work together effectively as a team, especially by means of activities and events designed to increase motivation and promote cooperation. In other words, team building is to make a team of people have lots of fun while finding creative ways to solve a problem together. When it is necessary, when is it necessary? And when is it good for a team to do some team building? Does it always have to be at the end of a year? Nope. Can we do a team building with only 3 people? Yes, you can. Do we have to hire a company that specializes in team building, or can we attempt this on our own? You can do this all by yourself. However, I have learned that if you hire a company who specializes in team building, you can relax and enjoy it with your team without worrying about the logistics, the food, and everything else that goes with it. There are a lot of places, resorts actually, that does team building. So you can basically pay your fee per person to be there for the day. And then the team building activities are all included in the price. Google is your friend. Okay, so here is just a few reasons why a team should engage in team building. When there is unhealthy friction, team building is a lot more playing than working together. When team members connect on a different level and in a different environment, they get to know each other in a different way and you might find things they have in common, and it could ease off the friction. It is also a way for the team to bond. Team building events help the individuals to learn effective communication and to work together to an end goal. Some of the games that is played also forces the team members to think strategically and to consider the best route to take in order to get to the end zone and win. Team building games will, in most cases, require of the team to break into smaller teams that competes against each other for a prize, maybe. The competitive edge creates excitement and an expectation. If you have people in your team that are very competitive, they will quickly take the lead and start telling their small team members how it needs to be done. Nothing wrong with a little competition, but the introvert might decide to give a strategic solution to the problem. Getting the team to start solving less serious problems, which does not affect their annual employee reviews or won't get them in the way of a promotion for them. You get to know the individual on a different level. But you also get a chance to show your people that you appreciate them. It is a way of stress relief, especially if the year was hard and fast. Creativity that you get from both brainstorming and team building can have a positive effect on team morale and performance. Here's the three steps of putting a plan into action again. Perhaps the plan is for next year only, but maybe there is a few things that can be done over December. Now, I really hope this info can help you spur on the team to find creative solutions to the issues your business is facing. So who's raising their hand? When are we doing this? Do I have a deadline for it? And then you keep them accountable. Are there any questions or comments maybe?
There currently aren't any.
Okay.
Okay, thanks very much. If you do have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please put it in the Q&A. We will give a minute or two just to see if there are any last-minute questions. But thank you very much for joining us this morning, Linda. I think people can take away a lot from us and possibly grow their teams to work better together and achieve their goals.
Thank you, Byron. Yes, we sometimes forget how important it is to work together as a team. I mean, if a team does not gel, then it's not a team really, then it's just a group of people. So to understand team dynamics, it's also very important. Maybe at some point in time we can talk about team dynamics, but we sometimes forget that it is the team at the end of the day that is going to take you, that's going to take you as far as you'd like to go. Yes, as the lead of the team, the leader determines the direction and maybe the speed. But a team, if you don't have a proper a team behind you to get you to the point where you'd like to take your business or where you'd like to take the project, or then you're not going to get very far.
Thank you and have a blessed week.